He is an American musician, singer-songwriter, best known for his work as the bass player and singer for Toto and the Eagles. He has had an incredible solo career so far. Mr. Timothy B. Schmit, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And Timothy, I know you started your career in a few folk groups, but tell me the story of how you got together with the guys in the band Toto.
Oh, let's see. I was in Los Angeles from Sacramento with my band from Sacramento. Not my band, our band from Sacramento, and we were trying to finish up an album when a mutual friend told me about this band that was forming, partially as an offshoot from the Buffalo Springfield, and wanted to know if I was interested. Well, first of all, I didn't even hardly believe that this person knew the Buffalo Springfield, but it turned out to be true. I ended up, basically, it was as simple as auditioning. I went to an audition, I sang with them, played with them, skipped a day when they auditioned another guy, and then I came back and auditioned again. And I actually didn't get the gig at first. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until they were almost finished recording their first album when that same guy who beat me out, so to speak, for the job decided to quit. And they called me back, and that's how it started. And then I stayed.
And so I know you were in the band Toto, but then how were you handpicked to take over vocals on the band Firefall's hit single, Just Remember I Love You?
That was one of many records I sang on. There was a co-producer for the first couple of Toto albums. His name was Jim Mason, and he was producing Firefall, and he knew me, he knew what I could do, and he introduced me to them, and I ended up singing.
And then the Pretzel Logic studio sessions with the guys at Steely Dan. I mean, what was that like personally for you to be in the great company of those fine musicians of Steely Dan?
It was great, because those guys really know what they're doing. A lot of times I had sung for people where they would sort of give me a free rein to do what I want or what I heard. But I was able to take, direction too, which was good, because the Steely Dan guys knew exactly what they wanted me to sing, what part, and how to do it. They were very, very precise. They accepted nothing less than just the sight of perfect, which I liked. It was a bit of work, but I hung in there, and they called me back for, a couple more albums.
And I know, Timothy, you became an Eagle right after their Hotel California tour, and once again you replaced Randy Meisner, and you were really the only group member that was actually from California, because I know they were trying to go for that California sound approach during that time period. Was everybody cool in the band at that point? What was that experience like being an Eagle?
Well, it was great. It was a great opportunity. It came at a perfect time for me. In my mind, the band Toto that I was in was sort of floundering, and I was actually vaguely keeping my eyes open for my next move. This offer came. They wanted me, even though we had never played any music together as a band. I thought it was a perfect matchup. I knew I could do it. It came right, like I said, it came exactly at the right time for me. I was ecstatic. I was very happy to have this offer.
And the tune I Can't Tell You Why is possibly the best song the Eagles ever recorded, in my personal opinion. I mean, how did you come up with that bass line?
Well, I'm trying to think of what you're probably talking about on the outro when the song is fading.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, my answer is simply, I have no idea. We were working up this song like we worked up other songs. That's what came out of my fingers.
Once the Eagles split apart in 1980, I know you embarked on your own solo career, which was simply amazing. I mean, you were on some of the greatest hit singles, like from Bob Seger's Fire Lake to Boss Gagg's Look What You've Done to Me, and a few Don Henley tracks, including Dirty Laundry. I mean, from a background perspective, what's your best story from the studio hanging out with all those great musicians?
Oh, gee. I don't know if I have a best story. When you mentioned Henley and Dirty Laundry, I just happened to be visiting him in the studio one night they were at the point of adding some vocals, and they said, it wasn't really a singing part. It was the kick 'em when they're up, kick 'em when they're down line. And it's sort of spoken yelling, sort of. And, gee, I went out there with a couple other guys. I don't remember who it was even. It's probably written down, but, that was kind of how it was sometimes. You were maybe there, or maybe you participated, There was a lot of great experiences.
You and former Eagles Poco member Randy Meisner got together and provided the backup vocals on Richard Marx' Should Have Known Better. I didn't even know that, Timothy. And how did that all evolve? How did you guys get in touch with Richard?
Randy and I are friends, and we know each other, but we're not close, and we didn't really hang out a lot. But in a situation like that, you don't call people and say, you don't even know what a lot of people are up to. Richard Marx got a hold of us.
Gotcha.
He thought he would try to see if he could get both of us, and he did. And actually, Joe Walsh played guitar on that same record.
You had some studio time with the band Toto, and now out of the single Africa and I Won't Hold You Back, which one do you personally like the most?
The most fun one for me is, and I like both those songs, was I Won't Hold You Back, because the choruses are like, there's a lot of me in the choruses. It's almost, I layered all the parts, and I believe someone else sang on that as well. So you can really hear me on that. So I was surprised how much you could hear me on that, being a Toto album. I was like, cool, I'll take it.
Then in 1994, I had the pleasure of seeing you guys on your Hell Freezes Over tour at the Forum in Los Angeles. And I mean, when that song, Love Will Keep Us Alive, came on, you could hear a pin drop at the Forum. What a beautiful song that is.
Thank you. I did not write that song, so I can't take credit for that. That's a Paul Carrick song written by two other people as well. Jim Capaldi and one other person I never met. Paul Carrick brought that song to me, and I brought it to the Eagles. Yeah, I agree. Great song.
In 1998, what was that experience like for you personally, Timothy, being up on stage at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and becoming a true member of the Eagles? What was that like?
Well, it's another great honor, and I thought it was really, really special in that everybody who was and had been in the band were up there taking the awards. I liked that.
And I know we all lost a great soul when group member Glenn Frey suddenly passed away. Now, you were really close to Glenn, correct?
Closer in the earlier days. Okay. And then we all started having families, et cetera, and then we sort of stopped hanging out a lot together. But, I was definitely close to him in a musical way, and spent a lot of time being around him and with him and being on stage, et cetera. It's a horrible thing. I'm still trying to process it. The healing of time kind of thing,
And so, Timothy, tell me about this new great release that you have and this wonderful tour that you're on.
Well, the album took me quite a long time to make because I was touring a lot with the Eagles. So the songwriting spans quite a few years. But I finally had some time, especially after Glenn got sick and we stopped playing. I had some time to concentrate on it, finally finished it, and I'm really happy with it. I'm going to tour starting in January, mostly in Southern California area, a little bit out of the state, but mostly in Southern California. And I'm hoping that some people will come out and see us. I have a really great band. It's a fun show, a fun bunch of people. Everybody enjoys themselves. They all get what I do, and I think that I could say the same for them. Going to keep doing what I do.
As you should, my friend, as you should. For more information on Timothy B. Schmit, visit his website at timothybschmit.com. Timothy B. Schmit of the Eagles and Poco, thank you so very much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it too.